Good afternoon. My name is Briana Beck, and I hope to bring a little bit of humor and happiness to the Strike a Spark conference today. My main topic of focus is going to be the importance of humor in the veterinary field and how it has a really positive impact on the people working in the veterinary clinic. Just to begin and give you a little bit of background, humor is a very powerful tool that allows somebody to gain dominance, gain confidence, belittle people, and for the most part, bring a smile to somebody's face that really needs it. In the field of veterinary medicine, there are days when it is really hard to keep a smile on your face for the coworkers, the veterinarians that are above you, the clients, and definitely yourself. From personal experience working in the field, I have worked in the clinic side of it and I've also worked in the kennel side of it. There is nothing better than an unexpected turn of events, seeing a cute little puppy come in that is really healthy and just doing something silly after dealing with a really hard day of work. It really brings a sense of relief to the team, and it also gives a really good reminder as a whole as to why you chose that career in the first place. My thesis is as follows. Although there is Although those in the veterinary clinic suffer from compassion fatigue and daily struggles within the clinic, there is a sense of humor found within the midst of the sadness that keeps the day moving and makes for more lighthearted shifts at work. The main problem that I want to focus on is that the people in the veterinary workplace has one of the highest suicidal and depression rates. 25% of the males and 37% of the females suffer from depression and suicide. On the good note, research also shows that laughter therapy is a prime treatment to that depression and sadness due to the release of serotonin and dopamine in your brain, which are the same chemicals commonly found in antidepressants that are prescribed to you through your doctor. As I said before, veterinarians suffer from compassion fatigue. This is whenever the staff member loses compassion and ends up just becoming burned out and not able to work right up to their standards anymore. This can happen for a lot of different reasons, usually all of them combined, but just a couple that I have listed is euthanizing animals daily. It is not easy putting animals down and seeing the really sad clients and you being sad too, especially if you knew that animal for a long time. Another one is untreatable animals that come in. Sometimes there's just really nothing that you can do, and you can't help that animal no matter how much you want to. And it makes it really hard on the staff member, especially seeing the client's face whenever you have to tell them that there's nothing much that you can do anymore. Another thing that really doesn't help the veterinary depression is the angry clients not understanding and blaming the vet and blaming the workplace altogether. A lot of them think that we are just in it for the money, and that is not true at all. We want to do absolutely everything we can. We get into the business because we love animals and we want to help the people that love their animals just as much. The last thing is abused and unkept animals. There is nothing more sad than animals coming in that were left on the side of the road, or animals coming in that were mistreated by their owners in an accidental way, of course, and unfortunately intentional ways. Some people buy their children pets and they don't know how to properly take care of them. They didn't do the proper research, and therefore the animal ends up suffering because of that. There is some evidence that I've gathered from my personal experience, from people that I've worked with, and also some outside sources that I got some of this stuff from as well. To begin, there is a route that you can go, which is communication and discussion spaces, where other members in the veterinary field can share their poor experiences and their humorous ones as well. Um, this usually makes them feel like they're not as alone. It also can bring some happiness to their day, reading some of the funny things or realizing that they're not the only ones suffering through all of these hardships, that everybody does it. Another one are memes and posts on social media platforms that relate to the veterinary clinics themselves. Some of these can be really funny, and as you can see around my poster, I do have 3 examples of these. The top corner is I prescribe bacon, lots of bacon. There is a cute little dog in the veterinarian chair. He has a little stethoscope and glasses, and he's just absolutely adorable. The picture itself is cute and funny, but the caption really adds something to it. The one in between the thesis and evidence box is obviously not a very exciting procedure for the dogs. Nobody likes getting their temperature rectally taken, but we obviously know as workers that this doesn't harm the animals, so we can find this funny because we know that it's not hurting them, and we know how much the dogs hate it because honestly, we would too. The ones in between the evidence and the works cited box is a little pun using exercise and extra fries. There is a cute little puppy dog in the middle of it, and it just brings a little bit of sense of happiness because those are the animals that you are treating, and those are the animals that make you happy. Another thing are humorous clinical experiences related to things like surgeries and x rays that come in. There's nothing better than an incongruous or unexpected humorous event um, where the animal comes in and the owner is saying they're not eating right or they're not going to the bathroom right. So you take an x ray and you find this really weird thing stuck in their stomach that you're going to have to get out. I have had experiences where we have had dogs eat about, I believe it was 16 tampons that we found in their stomach. We didn't know it until we actually opened them up for surgery, and we could tell what they were immediately after opening them up. But on the x ray, you couldn't really make it out, and it just looked like a bunch of blobs. We've had experiences like my dog, personally, he ended up chewing up one of his bones whenever he was a puppy, and it ended up getting stuck in his duodenum, which is the beginning of his intestines. And everybody found it humorous because you just don't expect to open up the dog's stomach and find a bone in there. My dog has also eaten things like baby socks, his baby collars, baby leashes, and of course the veterinary staff finds it hilarious because of course it is my dog and he is absolutely crazy, and sometimes it can just bring a smile to someone's face. Usually the more tragic ones like this can fall into relief theory. You don't really want to find it funny, but you can't help but find it funny because it's just one of those situations. Um, Another one are pet names and nicknames that people give. A lot of people come in giving their pets their favorite TV shows and movie names. Sometimes they do really ironic names. Over in the kennel side, we have these two dogs, they're siblings. They come in, and one is a really little golden doodle, and one is super big. And their names are Goldie and Thor. And you would expect Thor to be the really big one because you associate Thor with masculinity and strength. But Thor is actually the really little puppy, and Goldie is the really big one, and he is the ditzy one. And Thor, you can definitely tell, owns the place. It just really helps whenever you're having a rough day and an animal with a goofy name comes in. It's so small, but it really does bring a little sense of humor and happiness to the workplace. Another thing are cute animals coming in doing cute things. Of course, the cuteness just makes you want to laugh. One of the veterinarians at my workplace has a cat, and his name's Charles. He is actually paralyzed from the waist down, so he can't use his back legs, but he gets around basically like he has four legs. He's never really gotten along with any of the animals that come into the clinic. He just hasn't seemed to find an interest in them. But the one time we had this little golden retriever puppy come in, and he immediately loved this dog, and they started chasing each other around the clinic. And that was after a really rough day where we had to put down an animal really close to us that we have been treating for about 13 years. So it definitely turned the horrendous day into a really good one by the end of it. Lastly, stories from clients about their pets. There is nothing better than the clients coming in and telling us funny stories about what the dog got into or what the dog was doing, how they love to lay on the couch like a human or sit on the couch like a human. Um, Having the clients come in and talk to us and be happy and want to share their funny thoughts and their funny experiences with us can really bring joy to us because we know not all of the clients are happy with our work. Um, so it really just brings a sense of happiness and humor to the workplace. In conclusion, although laughing and smiling cannot cure away all of the horrible thoughts and gruesome cases, it can definitely keep a worker in the veterinary field happy and allow them to blossom the rough and dragging day into a day where the workers can go home smiling and be ready to wake up and do it all over again the next day. Um, Happiness really is the key to a good and successful life. Without that, I think we can all agree that humor kind of brings us a sense of joy, and without it, we probably wouldn't be as happy and as cheerful as we are today. Like I said, I know from personal experience and the people around me, there is nothing better than a really cute, funny animal coming in and keeping us on our feet, keeping us happy, and keeping a smile on our faces in the really, really hard days. Thank you.